The Nashville Number System, or NNS, is a shorthand method for transcribing music. It uses numbers to represent chord functions relative to a key. This system allows musicians to transpose songs quickly without the need to rewrite their charts. Rather than focusing on specific chord names, NNS emphasizes the why of chords, their scale degrees in the key. The key advantage of the Nashville Number System is instant transposition. Once a song is charted using numbers, changing the key requires no rewriting of the chart. Simply adjust the starting point, and the entire chart transposes automatically. This efficiency is crucial for session musicians and worship leaders who need to adapt quickly. The relationships between chords, represented by their numbers, remain constant regardless of the key. This functional approach focuses on chord roles within the scale. This transposition chart illustrates how numbers correspond to different instruments and keys, enabling seamless key changes. The key change chord chart shows diatonic chords for major and minor keys, demonstrating how the numerical relationships stay the same across keys. This principle is encapsulated in the golden rule: the root key changes, but the chart never does. This makes NNS invaluable for live performance and collaboration. The Nashville Number System was developed in the late 1950s by Neil Matthews of the Jordanaires, Elvis Presley's backup singers. Charlie McCoy later adapted it for instrumentalists, expanding its utility, while Chas Williams' 1988 book serves as a primary resource for the system. Recent updates like the Twang Authority material have enhanced the system for modern music production, adding details for rhythm, chart structure, and complex chords. The Nashville Number System assigns numbers based on the major scale, 1 through 7. These numbers represent the root of each chord in relation to the key. For example, in the key of C, 1 equals C, 2 equals D, 3 equals E, and so on. This foundational numbering enables the system's core benefit, instant transposition without rewriting charts. In the Nashville Number System, major chords are represented by 1, 4, and 5. These numbers correspond to the tonic, subdominant, and dominant chords in any major key. For example, in the key of C major, 1 represents C, 4 represents F, and 5 represents G. Minor chords are denoted by 2, 3, and 6, with the dash indicating the minor quality. In the key of C major, 2 represents D minor, 3 represents E minor, and 6 represents A minor. This numbering system provides a clear indication of each chord's function within the key, allowing musicians to understand harmonic relationships instantly. In the major scale, the 7th scale degree typically forms a diminished chord. For example, in C major, the 7th degree is B, which creates a B diminished chord consisting of B, D, and F. This piano keyboard illustrates the diminished chord, highlighting the notes C, E flat, G flat, and A, which form a diminished 7th chord. In the Nashville Number System, this diminished chord is often simplified to 5/7, particularly in pop and worship music. This notation represents a dominant 5 chord with the 7th scale degree in the bass. This table shows common diminished chord symbols used in music notation, including triads and 7th chords. Here's a bass fretboard diagram showing a B-flat dominant 7th chord, which corresponds to the 5/7 notation in NNS, with the 7th in the bass. Diminished chords often derive from the harmonic minor scale, where the 7th degree creates a fully diminished 7th chord, as shown in this A harmonic minor scale diagram. It's important to note that while the 7th scale degree is theoretically diminished, in modern music contexts like pop and worship, it's rarely played as a diminished triad. The 5/7 notation provides a practical simplification for these styles. In the Nashville Number System, timing follows specific default assumptions that ensure consistent interpretation across charts. Unless otherwise indicated, NNS uses a 4/4 time signature, meaning there are 4 beats in each measure. Each number in the chart represents a full bar, or measure, of 4 beats. This default timing provides a foundation for accurate performance. For example, in traditional musical notation, you can see how notes are distributed across the 4 beats, with whole notes spanning the entire measure. In an NNS chart, a simple progression like 1, 4, 5 would mean each chord lasts for 1 full bar of 4 beats. This default assumption allows musicians to quickly interpret and perform the music without additional timing notation. Other time signatures can be specified when needed, but the 4/4 default ensures clarity and efficiency in NNS notation. The Nashville Number System employs visual cues to accurately represent timing within musical charts. Underlines serve as indicators for split bars, effectively dividing measures into equal rhythmic segments. For instance, consider the notation 1/4 accompanied by a single underline. This signifies that the measure is equally split between the 1 chord and the 4 chord. In standard 4/4 time, each chord would occupy exactly 2 beats. This notation allows musicians to quickly interpret rhythmic divisions without traditional staff notation. Split bars enhance clarity in complex progressions, ensuring precise timing during performance. Visual representations, such as these musical notations, demonstrate how lines and symbols convey structural elements like bar divisions and repeats. Rhythmic values on the staff further illustrate how notes and rests correspond to mathematical expressions of duration, reinforcing the concept of split timing. Double underlines in the Nashville Number System signify shorter durations, typically representing 1 beat. For instance, 1/4/5, where 4 is double underlined, suggests a 3-to-1 split or syncopation, requiring a nuanced understanding of rhythm. Such notations enhance musical expression through precise timing and offbeat emphasis. Inversions are indicated using a slash, chord bass note. This notation specifies that the chord should be played with a particular note in the bass, different from the root. A common example is 5/7, representing the 5 chord with the 7th in the bass. This technique is particularly prevalent in modern pop and worship music. The slash chords chart illustrates how different bass notes create inversions. For instance, CE plays a C major chord with E in the bass, creating a first inversion voicing commonly used in progressions. In practice, slash chords appear in sheet music as shown here. The notation GE indicates a G chord with E in the bass, while DE shows a D chord with E as the bass note. These inversions add harmonic richness to modern compositions. Push, denoted by an accent mark above a number, means the chord is played on the and before the beat. This anticipatory hit is crucial for modern rhythms. Variations of the push concept extend rhythmic possibilities in the Nashville Number System. A push to 3 places the chord on the and of beat 2, creating tension before the third beat. This anticipation adds groove and drive to the rhythm. A push to 1 takes this further by anticipating the downbeat of the following measure. The chord strikes on the and of beat 4 from the previous bar, bridging measures smoothly and maintaining forward momentum. Mastery of these push variations significantly enhances rhythmic accuracy. They allow musicians to create more sophisticated timing and groove, essential for professional performance across genres. NNS charts employ repeat signs to indicate sections that should be played multiple times. These signs, consisting of vertical lines with dots, condense the chart by avoiding repetition of musical material. First and second endings allow for variations within repeated sections. On the first pass through the repeat, the first ending is played, while on subsequent passes, the second ending is used. This technique further condenses the chart by handling structural variations efficiently. Together, repeat signs and endings keep NNS charts concise and efficient, allowing complex musical structures to fit onto a single page without unnecessary repetition. A 16-bar sequence can be reduced to 12 bars by using a first ending for the first pass and a second ending for the final resolution. This technique condenses repetitive sections while preserving the musical structure and ensuring efficiency during performance. The first ending handles the initial repetition, while the second ending provides the concluding resolution. This approach maintains clarity and allows musicians to perform with greater efficiency. Advanced harmonies in the Nashville Number System use specific symbols to denote complex chords known as Jazzy chords. These include major sevenths, augmented chords, half-diminished chords, diminished chords, and suspended chords. Major seventh chords add a major seventh interval above the root, creating rich, jazzy harmonies. The symbol della denotes these chords, such as 1 da, representing G major 7 in a G major key. Augmented chords raise the fifth by a semitone, creating tension that resolves strongly. Symbols include plus or aug. For example, 5 plus represents D augmented in a C major key. Half-diminished chords combine a minor triad with a diminished seventh, often used in jazz progressions. The symbol O indicates these chords, such as 7F or F sharp minor 7 flat 5 in C major. Diminished chords stack 3 minor thirds, creating symmetrical structures. Symbols include graze or dim. For example, 7 graze represents F sharp diminished in C major. Suspended chords replace the third with either a second or fourth, creating ambiguous tension. The symbol sus denotes these, such as 5 sus for D suspended in C major. The Nashville Number System incorporates symbols for complex chords to represent advanced harmonies. A major seventh chord is denoted by the delta symbol, data, placed after the number. For example, in the key of G, one data represents G major seventh, consisting of the root, major third, perfect fifth, and major seventh. Augmented chords are represented by the plus symbol plus, indicating a raised fifth. For instance, 5 plus in the key of G denotes G augmented, built with the root, major third, and augmented fifth. This creates a distinctive, tension-filled sound. Half-diminished chords use the /0 symbol for a minor seventh with a diminished fifth. In the key of G, 7 represents F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Diminished chords are denoted by the small o symbol, indicating a diminished seventh. For example, 4-0 in G is C diminished, with root, minor third, and diminished fifth. Suspended chords are denoted with the sus label, where the third degree of the chord is suspended and replaced by either a fourth or second interval. For example, 5 sus represents a dominant seventh chord with a suspended fourth. Accidentals, including flats and sharps, are indicated by placing B for flat or shack for sharp before the chord number to modify the root note. For instance, B7 denotes a flattened seventh chord, while number 4 represents a sharpened fourth chord. In practice, these symbols combine to create complex chords. Diagrams illustrate suspended chords like Cis2 and Cis4, as well as chords with accidentals such as G7B9, which includes a flattened ninth. This exercise focuses on practicing the basic progression 1-4-6-5 across different keys to reinforce chord relationships. In C major, the progression 1-4-6-5 becomes C, F, A minor, G. In G major, the progression becomes G, E minor, D. In D major, the progression becomes D, B minor, A. In a major, the progression becomes A, D, F sharp minor, E. In E major, the progression becomes E, A, C sharp minor, B. Exercise 2 focuses on slash chords through the progression 1-5-7-6-4-5. The slash chord, such as 5/7, indicates a chord with a specific bass note, enhancing harmonic texture. In the key of C, the progression becomes C, G, AM, F, G. Practice this to internalize slash chord functions. In the key of G, the progression becomes G, D, M, C, D. Practice this to internalize slash chord functions. In the key of D, the progression becomes D, A's, B, M, G, A. Practice this to internalize slash chord functions. In the key of A, the progression becomes A, E, G sharp, F sharp, M, D, E. Practice this to internalize slash chord functions. In the key of E, the progression becomes E, B, D sharp, C sharp, A, B. Practice this to internalize slash chord functions. Regular practice of this exercise in various keys will strengthen your understanding of slash chords and their role in harmonic progressions. Exercise 3 focuses on split bars and rhythmic accuracy in the Nashville Number System. Practice the progression 1-4-6-5-1-4-5 with underlines dictating timing. Underlines indicate split bars, dividing each measure into equal parts for precise rhythm. The bar line separates measures, ensuring accurate interpretation of NNS charts. For example, in C major, this becomes CF A minor G followed by CF G. The rhythm images illustrate how note lengths contribute to timing, building precision in performance. This exercise reinforces rhythmic precision, ensuring accurate interpretation of NNS charts in practice. Exercise 4 focuses on incorporating accidentals within the Nashville Number System. Play the progression 1-1-6-7-6-7-4-4-1-2-7-5 and repeat it. This sequence demonstrates how accidentals modify chord qualities, such as the flat third and minor chords and the diminished fifth and seventh chords, creating more complex harmonic transitions. The Nashville Number System serves as a critical tool for worship leaders facing unexpected key changes during live performances. By emphasizing chord functions within the scale rather than specific chord names, musicians can transpose entire songs instantly, maintaining musical flow and avoiding disruptions. Rather than memorizing absolute chords like E, A, C sharp minor, G sharp, leaders think in terms of scale degrees, the tonic, subdominant, mediant, and dominant functions. This functional approach allows immediate adaptation to any key. Consider a worship leader who needs to drop a song from E major to C major without time to adjust. Using NNS notation, the chord progression remains the same, 1, 4, 6, 5, but now resolves in the new key. The NNS chart shows how numbers translate across keys. In E major, this becomes E, A, C sharp minor, B. In C major, it becomes C, F, A minor, G. The functional relationships stay constant. This approach eliminates the panic of capo adjustments or rewritten charts, allowing seamless transitions during worship services. Originally developed in the context of country music, the Nashville Number System has transcended its roots to become a versatile tool across multiple genres. Its ability to allow instant transposition without rewriting charts makes it particularly valuable in fast-paced musical environments. In electronic dance music, NNS enables producers to quickly adapt harmonic progressions for different keys, supporting complex layering and remixing. In hip-hop, it facilitates rapid key changes, essential for beatmaking and live performances. Worship music benefits greatly from NNS, where leaders can transpose songs on the fly during live services, avoiding disruptions and maintaining engagement with congregations. This versatility and transposable nature have made NNS indispensable for modern musicians, with statistics showing 65% of session musicians using it daily and 40% of worship leaders citing it as essential for live adaptability.